Morning, everyone, and welcome to this chair practice today. Hopefully your Monday morning is good so far, even though Barbara said that it was snowing in St. Agatha a little bit, I guess. Or, yeah, snowing in St. Agatha a little bit, yeah. Not here anyway. Okay, so we're going to work a little bit on balance, but also on the concept of change and transformation and how that affects our balance and then our balance affects our change and transformation. We're always changing, we're always transforming, we're always searching for balance within our bodies. And so that's what we're going to work on today. Okay, so let's sit up nice and tall in our chair, rooting our feet down. And without putting anything on your head yet, we'll get to that, don't worry. Place your hands on your thighs and lengthen through your spine. Feel that connection in your seat. Feel the length through your neck. And sitting up nice and tall, almost as if you were standing as well, too. So you want to stack those joints, those bones on top of each other. And then either gently closing your eyes, or you can keep your eyes open, but have a very soft gaze. So try not to look everywhere in your room. And then just be aware of the space that you're in. And just being aware of different things that are happening in your space. And even though you might not really notice it all the time, that things are always changing in the space. Things like the temperature, things get moved around. Different things like that. And then bring your awareness to yourself sitting in your chair. And notice maybe that it feels different today. Maybe it feels the same, maybe you don't notice any difference, but it usually is because we're different people every day. We totally change. Our cells, blood moving around, the different type of air that comes in and out of us. We're always changing. So we're a different person that is sitting in this chair this morning. Maybe you can be aware of that change and how you're balanced on your chair. And then take a few moments just to do a little body scan, noticing how overall you are feeling. So noticing the sensations. Notice how your bones feel, muscles, any aches or pains that might be noticeable. How your joints feel today. And then the type of thoughts that are moving around up in your head. How you're feeling emotionally. And then notice your breath, how your breath is today. If it's feeling a little fluttered, or maybe it's nice and smooth, maybe it's deep already, maybe it's shallow. Maybe it just constantly moves between shallow and deep. Maybe it moves in a different way. Notice if you're breathing a little bit through your mouth or through both nostrils, or maybe just one nostril because you're a little bit stuffed up. And can you feel that breath moving through your body? And as the breath moves through your body, do you notice the balance in your body? Maybe with the breath, or maybe just with your feet, or just maybe sitting on the chair. Last week we were talking a little bit about those different bodies, the physical body and the astral body, or energetic body, and then the spiritual body. Maybe you can be aware of those today. Don't worry if you are or you aren't. Just open your mind to the different possibilities. Okay, now let's get that breath getting a little bit deeper. So slowly taking a little bit deeper breaths in. Maybe even beginning to feel the belly starting to swell, a little bit more expansion there, maybe through the sides of the body. And notice this as you breathe and you're starting to breathe a little bit deeper, if you're bringing tension somewhere into the body. Maybe through the face, maybe through your hands, maybe through your feet. Maybe through your shoulders. Usually when we change things, it is a stressful time. Change, moving, any change in our life is usually stressful. So you might notice that as the breath begins to change, a little bit of stress comes up, and that's okay. It's okay. There's good stress and bad stress, right? So as soon as you notice any tension or stress, you just breathe through it and allow it to dissolve. Because every time we change, there's going to be a little bit of tension and stress. Okay, let's get that breath going a little bit deeper, a little bit slower, if you can, without forcing it. Okay, one more breath here, just like this. And then on your next breath, you're going to take whatever you have that I suggested for you to balance on your head. You're going to take that and you're going to place it on top of your head. And I have a little clip, so I'm going to have to move that. And you're going to place that on top of your head. And then come back to that breathing again. Okay, so we just did a change. Notice your breath. Notice the tension. This is okay tension. If the block or whatever it is that was on your head falls off, that's okay. Just put it back up. No big deal. Try to sit up as tall as you can. And just notice how you can bring your breath back to that more of a relaxed state, a little bit deeper, a little bit slower. And maybe it's going to take a couple more moments. Try to sit up as tall as you can, finding that balance. So this is a physical thing. This is a physical balance with the whatever is on top of your head, but it also goes into the astral body, that energetic body. Trying to find the balance here without having the mind take over. The mind is a very, very powerful tool. And if used right, it's awesome. But sometimes it has a little mind of its own and it likes to take over, telling us things like negative things like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have no balance, the block's going to fall off your head, you can't breathe properly, your breath is shallow. It likes to say things like that. Try not to listen to that negativity. It's holding it up. Okay, so let's keep that on our heads, whatever you got. And let's change again. Let's bring the arms up above our heads. Going slow. I'm just noticing if that changes anything. And then as you exhale, bring your arms all the way down. Let's do that one more time. Bringing the arms all the way up. And all the way back down again. Good. And just hold it there. Notice if there's any changes. Notice if your breath has changed. It tends to. Okay, let's take a couple more breaths here. Maybe we'll move the arms again. This time we're going to bring them up in front of us. Lift them up. We can kind of see the fingers. I can feel mine falling, beginning to fall, and then exhale, bring the arms all the way back down, and there it goes. And then do it one more time. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up in front of you. And then exhale, bring the arms all the way back down. Keep the arms down. Okay, so we're gonna remove that, whatever's on top of our head. Enough for now. Okay, so still envision that there's something on top of your head, even though that's not there anymore. We're gonna clasp the hands. We're gonna bring the right thumb on top of the left thumb. So holding the hands like this, bring them in to the sides of your body. So we're still sitting up nice and tall. Envision that there is something on top of our heads, and we're just going to start to move our hands in figure eights, going one direction. Okay, and as that figure eight grows, we're going to bring the arms up. Notice what's happening with your breath as you do this. Noticing the changes in your body, in your mind, in your thoughts. Go up as high as you can, and then figure eight in the opposite direction coming back. A little bit of brain activity there, some neuroplasticity working with the brain and how it changes. How things change as we change. All the way back down. Until the arms come back. Okay, so open up the hands, stretch them out, reach them out, give a little squeeze, squeeze, and then open up the hands again. We're going to clasp them again, except the left hand thumb is going to come on to the right. And we're going to do that again. So figure eight. It might feel totally different. And as you do this, how does it feel with your breath? As we go all the way up. So try to find that balance. Notice what happens as we change. Go up as high as you can. And then we'll go in the reverse direction. Ooh, that's a that's a brain workout right there. Going in the reverse direction. And just notice as much as you can what's going on with the different changes with your balance until you bring the arms all the way back down. Good. And then open up the fingers, spread them apart, and then squeeze those hands. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, open, and exhale, squeeze. Good, and give them a little bit of a shake. Okay, we're going to bring the arms all the way up again. This time we're going to do some big circles going backwards. Again, trying to sit up nice and tall. Notice how just this simple movement might change things. Might change things with your breath and the thoughts. Maybe your perspective. Let's do one more going backwards. Are you breathing? Are you holding it? Noticing if there's any tension that's caused. Bring the arms all the way down, and then let's go forwards. Bring the arms all the way up. Ooh, all the way up. All the way back down. And a couple more times. All the way up. All the way back down. And one more time, going forwards, all the way up. And all the way back down. And bring your arms down. And again, notice. Take a couple of breaths. Notice what your breath is doing. Okay, let's bring our arms into cactus arms now. Now, really, we're not doing too much except holding the arms here. Bring the shoulders down. See if you can just a little tiny bit through your back shoulders. Just bring your shoulder blades together just a little bit more. Let's open up the fingers a little bit more. Maybe you can bring the elbows back a little bit more without creating too much stress. Notice your breath again. Has it changed? Okay. And now we're going to just tip over to one side. So keeping both buttock cheeks on your chair, we're just gonna tip over just a little bit. And just notice what happens here. And then come all the way back up. And tip over the other direction. And all the way back up. Let's do that one more time before our arms get really, really tired because they're starting to fatigue. Go over toward one side, come all the way back up, and then over towards the other side. All the way back up. Hold it here for one more moment. Notice what's happening in your body, in your mind. I know the mind's screaming, move my arms, move my arms. Okay, on your next inhalation, bring your arms all the way up. Reach, wiggle them around, and then bring them all the way back down. Bring them down onto your thighs. And then we're going to start to do some cows and cats. So open up your chest, lift up your chin, open up your throat. And then exhale, round out. Push your back towards your chair. We're going to do that 4 more times. Inhale. And as you're doing this, notice if your breath changes again. Notice where some tension or stress is moving. Are you being aware? Is your mind somewhere else? I think this is our last one. And pushing back. Good. And then rounding up. Yeah, sitting up nice and tall. Now let's bring your arms all the way up. And we're going to float downwards, reaching down towards the toes. Come up halfway, hands on the thighs. I'm just going to stay here for a moment. So creating a nice level back here, finding the balance here. Notice if the shoulders tend to creep up. Notice what you're doing with your feet and your hands. So your spine is going right from your tailbone all the way up your back, right into your neck and into your head. So try not to lift your head a little bit. Try to keep it level. Breathe. You might feel a little bit more compression on the belly, so it might be a little bit tougher to breathe. So just noticing these changes and how you're responding to all of these changes. Okay, on your next exhale, we're going to slide the hands down our shins all the way down. So we reach down towards the ground. You might feel it, you might not. And then bring yourself all the way up. Arms open up. All the way up. Reaching up, sitting up nice and tall. And then do it again, forward fold, all the way down. Come up halfway again. Slide all the way down to a forward bend. And then as we come up, arms up, we're going to take our right leg and reach it out in front of us, flexing the foot. Okay, bring the arm up. We're going to just hold it here. Don't worry, the leg doesn't have to be very high. You make it as high as you want. And just stay here and breathe. And again, just notice. Notice any changes. You might all of a sudden start to feel some tension building up. Maybe in the leg, maybe in the arms, maybe in the shoulders, maybe in the face. See if you can soften that tension. Still breathe, still being very, very aware of what's going on. Notice if you're holding your breath. We tend to do that when we're tense. Okay, on your next exhale, bring the foot down and forward fold. All the way down. Come up halfway. Forward fold. And then we're going to come all the way back up. This time the left leg is going to reach out in front of us. Flexing the foot. So finding that balance. This is still balance work. Holding it here. And again, noticing, breathing, paying attention. How can we make it so it's not so much tension, but paying attention to that tension? little word game there. Holding it there. Did anyone smile with all of that? It's okay to smile. Hold it here. Okay, let's exhale. Bring that leg down. Bring the arms down and forward fold. Let's come up halfway again. Forward fold. And then come all the way up. This time as the arms come all the way up, you're going to take the right leg and cross it over. Good. And just holding it here. So squeezing those two legs together. So really just standing on one leg. Seated, hold it here. Breathe. Again, just notice. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, on your next exhale, uncross the arms and forward fold. And then as we come up, we'll do a halfway lift. Forward fold. And then as we come up, we're going to take the other leg. Left leg crosses over. Come all the way up. Left leg crosses over. And squeezing those legs together. And finding your balance here. Breathe. And again, notice maybe it's different on this side than the other side. Maybe there's more tension. Maybe there's less tension. Maybe your breath is a little bit better. Notice the foot that is on the ground. Notice the foot that's not on the ground. Okay, on your exhale, uncross your legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Forward fold. And then this time we're just going to come all the way up. Feet, both feet on the ground, reach up. And then bring your hands towards your heart. And then down by your thighs. Okay, and just take a moment here and just notice. We're going to stand up in a moment. Okay, push into your feet, stand up, get your block or pillow or whatever you had. I'm going to stand up and see if we can balance it standing this time. Okay, so the chair can be right by you if you need it. So just standing in a Tadasana, a mountain pose, and trying to stand up as tall as you can, finding your balance here. Your eyes may be open. What happens when you close your eyes? Are you able to still find your balance? You definitely can hold on to something if your eyes are closed. It's just taking away that sense of sight sometimes disrupts the balance and changes things. Okay, open up your eyes. Keep the block on your head or whatever is on your head and see if you can lift up your arms while you're standing this time. You might have to go a little bit slower. Just noticing the tension as you stand and standing up nice and tall, and then bring the arms down. And we'll do that one more time. Bring the arms all the way up. And all the way back down. Okay, hold it here. Now, whatever's on your head, take it and just drop it to the ground. And still standing up nice and tall. Maybe you can still feel it, the imaginary, whatever it is on top of your head. Notice if it feels different without it on top of your head. It might not be as heavy. And then bring your arms back up. Notice if it's easier, if there's less tension without that thing on top of your head. And then exhale to bring them down. And do it one more time. Did it make a difference with your breath? Did it make a difference with the tension when you didn't have that thing on top of your head? You still feel balanced in your body or not? Okay, so we're gonna now turn to face the chair. So face the chair seat. Okay, so we're gonna do a little sequence here. Back. Okay. So we're gonna inhale the arms all the way up, reach up, and then we're going to hinge from the hips all the way down, bend into your knees, and reach down towards the chair seat. Okay, and then we're gonna come into a downward dog. So reach those legs back, walk them back, come into your downward dog. Give a nice little stretch here. You might wiggle around a little bit, bend into both knees, maybe one at a time. You might be on the balls of your feet. Just feel a nice stretch through your back, through your legs, through your arms. Try to keep your arms in line with your head if you can. Just a nice stretch. Don't force it though. Okay. So on your next breath, we're going to take the right leg, pick it up and bring it forwards. So we're still holding onto the seat. So now we're into a lunge, and that back foot, just move it so it's about 45 degrees. So this is a warrior one. Okay, so we're still holding onto the chair, root down through your both feet. Find your balance here, and then push into your feet, and then see if you can lift up your arms. You might feel wibble wobbly here. Your legs are not, they're about hip width apart, or maybe like railroad tracks. Okay, they're not directly one in front of the other. And just see if you can hold yourself here. Notice again your breath. We just changed our shape. Does it make a difference? Do you notice any differences? Okay, on your exhale, bring your hands down, going slow. Again, this is balance work as well too. Hold on to your chair, back to your downward dog. The right leg comes back into your downward dog. Okay, then from your downward dog, we're gonna move our bodies forward. So we're gonna bring our shoulders over top of our wrists. We're still holding on to the chair. Maybe now you're on your tippy toes, the balls of your feet. So we're in a plank pose now. Okay, so adjust yourself. Okay, so plank, and then push your hips back and come back into a downward dog. Going slow, taking your time. We're making different shapes with our bodies and noticing the tension, the breath, what happens with our balance. So again, coming forwards, going slow. So once we're in this plank pose, it's almost like we're standing in our Tadasana. Our bones are nice and stacked, and then bringing yourself back. Going slow, making any adjustments that you need to make, okay? You don't have to go into the full pose at all. You just go to where your body says it can. Okay, so we're gonna go into warrior one again on the other leg. So the left leg picks up, and you're gonna bring it forwards. Railroad tracks again. The right foot is about 45 degrees. Find your balance here. And then lift your arms up, if you can. You don't have to. See if you can find your balance here. And just take a few moments to breathe. And if you can't bring your arms all the way up, maybe you're still holding on with one hand, and maybe just one hand lifts. This is good too. This is good balance. Or maybe the other hand lifts. And maybe you can just alternating between the two. Both arms do not need to lift. So just find your balance in whatever way suits you today. Because as I said, we're different people every single day. What we can do one day doesn't necessarily mean we can do it the next day. Okay, so if your arms are up in the air, we're gonna bring the hands down again and take that left foot and bring it back to our warrior two. Okay, and you can play around with the distance between your chair and your feet. You don't have to be so far back like I am. Play around with that distance and just feel it in your bodies. Okay, then we're gonna come into that plank again. So you're just gonna hold on to the chair and you're just gonna move yourself forwards. So your shoulders are over top of your wrists. And you're gonna come onto your toes. Perhaps working on some strength here too. And then move yourself back again, back into your warrior two. We're going slow. We're going slow because so we can witness the change in our bodies and in our minds and in all of our bodies. So the physical body, the astral body, that energetic body, and the spiritual body. Maybe you can notice things. So let's do that again, bringing ourselves back into our plank. Wrists underneath the shoulders. Hold it there, feeling the strength in your body. And then back into your downward dog. Okay. And we're going to move ourselves back into a warrior one with our right foot forward. So pick up your right foot and we're going to take a step forwards. Again, railroad tracks are hip width apart. The left foot turns to about 45 degrees. Root down through those feet. Bend into that right knee, and then this time maybe you can lift both hands up. If not, just lift one hand up. That's okay. Just play around with your balance there. Just find what works for you. And again, root down, find out what works, breathe, notice the breath, notice the tension. As we're finding balance, there's tension in our bodies. The tension is good tension. We need the tension there to find the balance. And then we bring the hands down and we can release that tension as we release that shape and we come back into our downward dog. Okay, let's come back into our plank again. So moving our bodies forward, shoulders over top of the wrists. Okay, and then when we're here, if you want, we can go into a little cobra. So that means the hips come down a little bit. And we're going to open up through the chest. Okay, so it's a little bit of a back bend. And then back to our downward dog. Okay, so a little cobra or even a cow pose. So that might mean you might walk in a little bit more and then just do it like this. Okay. Okay, so it might just be a little cow instead of having the legs so far back. Okay. There's lots of options here. So you can do plank, dip the hips, come into our cobra or an up dog, and then back to a down dog. Or if that's not working for you today, walk a little bit more forward and then come into a cat or a cow position, dropping the belly. And your legs are a little bit closer to the chair. You might find some more balance. So what works best for you? Downward dog and cat pose are very similar as well too. Okay, let's try that again. Moving however you like. So downward dog, or maybe more of a cat pose, and then coming into your plank, which would be like a table pose, and then dip the hips into your cobra or your cow pose. So you decide how far you want to go, and then back to your downward dog. Go moving slowly, feeling the change that is happening through your body. Okay, so let's go one more time, bringing, I think it's the left foot coming forwards. And the right leg stays back at about 45 degrees, bend into that left knee. Find your balance here. And then maybe lift up one arm, maybe alternate with the other arm, or push into both feet and lift both arms up. Again, find your balance here. Notice the tension that has to stay in your legs to keep yourself lifted here, to keep yourself balanced. And it might sway, the balance always changes. It's always changing. So notice that too. It's always changing. Even with our breath, we move one little finger and the balance changes, and it's always shifting. Take one more breath here, and then bring the arms all the way back down again. And then stretch yourself back out into a downward dog. Okay, we're gonna do one more plank or your table. If you want to bring your legs in a little bit more. And then one more cow or cobra. Dip the hips, open up through the chest, and then push into your hands and bring yourself back into a downward dog. Just notice how things are on your body. Take a couple of breaths here. Good, and then we're just gonna walk the feet towards the chair. Okay. Push into your feet and then bring yourself all the way back up again. So standing up nice and tall, bring the arms all the way up. Reach up and then bring your arms down. So standing again in Tadasana. And again, just noticing. Noticing what you notice. Notice your breath. Maybe now you've totally changed since 5 minutes ago. You definitely have. Do you notice those changes? Some might be really, really big. Some might be a little bit more subtler. Okay, so now grab that pillow or block or whatever that you put on your head. Put it back on your head. And see, maybe if it's easier to balance with it on your head this time. Are you able to put it there, find your breath, find your balance in your body? Maybe without too much tension. I mean, the tension's going to be there because it's keeping you upright. But maybe the good tension will be there and not the bad. So maybe not so much stress. Notice what you're doing with your jaw, your eyes, your shoulders, your arms, your fingers. Notice if anything is wiggling or very still, or maybe in a position that isn't quite right. Maybe you're clenching something. Maybe you can soften a little bit. What about your buttocks? What about your knees? Are your knees locked? And what about your feet? Do you feel rooted down through both feet? Do you feel each toe in the ground? Do you feel the inside edge of your foot, the outside edge of your foot, and your heel? Okay, excellent. Okay, so take that, whatever it is on top of your head, put it on your chair seat for a moment. Turn around your chair. We're gonna do tree. Tree, the ultimate of balance. Okay, so find yourself standing up again. We're gonna do tree though, this time with something on top of our heads. Okay? So put that on top of, back on top of your head. If you need to use your chair, use your chair. The chair is right there. Okay, we might have to just because we have something on top of our heads now. Okay, root down through your inside leg, so whatever's touching the chair, so your right foot. Okay, bend, get a little bit of a bend into the knee, not drastically, root down through that whole foot, and then slide that left foot up. Well, it might just be on the inside of your shin. That's perfectly fine there. Just hold it there and just notice. It's going to feel totally different with this block on your head. You'll notice that once we do it again with the block off of our heads. But just notice how it feels. Are you able to maybe bring one hand up and maybe bring the other hand up, even just towards your heart? Maybe you need to keep holding onto the chair every once in a while, or touching the toes down just to find that groundedness, that sense of balance. If you're able to bring your hands towards your heart, are you able to branch the arms up above your head? And again, maybe you need to bring your hands down every once in a while to find your balance here. Maybe whatever's on your head falls off. That's okay. Just come back. You might notice that you're constantly, that supporting foot is constantly shifting. It's shifting, trying to find the balance. It's always changing, always, always changing. If this is super easy for you, close your eyes. You go into a totally different dimension there. It might be a little bit more of a challenge trying to find that sense of balance. Okay, let's bring the arms back. See if we can bring them back to our heart, if they're not already there. And then let's bring that left foot down onto the ground. See if we can keep that whatever's on our heads on our heads. Excellent. Okay, let's do the other leg. So if you need to take your chair and move it towards the other side, see if you can do it with the block or whatever's on your head. Find your balance. And then you're going to put your weight into the left foot. So again, you can hold on. Just try to stand up as tall as you can. And take your right leg and then slide it up your foot. Your leg, I mean. Your right foot, slide it up your leg. And then see, maybe you need to hold on to get yourself perfectly balanced, but you know that's going to change a little bit as we're always searching for that balance. Okay, and then if you can bring your hands towards your heart, you can try that. Left side for me is always a little bit trickier. So be aware of what's happening with your breath, with your thoughts. Are you distracted? Where's tension being brought? Is it in the shoulders, in the face? Notice the way that the left foot is searching for that balance as it moves and changes. And then if you're ready, you can maybe bring your arms up above your head or branch your arms out. They don't have to be above your head. Any shape that works for you, because trees are all different shapes. And just notice the sensations that are happening through the body as you're standing on one foot. Trying to keep whatever's on top of your head on top of your head. Lots going on right now, and you're supposed to be breathing. If you want a little bit more challenge, close your eyes. Maybe even just a blink. Okay. And then we can slowly bring ourselves back. So bring your hands towards your heart, nice and slow, trying to keep the balance. And then maybe you hold back onto the chair. Maybe you just bring your foot down and come back into both feet. And take a moment here, breathe, notice. Okay, so we're just going to take whatever's on top of our head, take it off, put it down. I'm just going to try the same thing, same tree pose without it, and just see if you can notice the difference. Might be easier. So let's put our weight to our right foot. Can even bring our hands towards our heart. Root down through the right foot, slide that left foot up. See if you can find some balance here. So whatever's on top was on top of your head's not there anymore, but maybe just keep envisioning that it is, if it helped to keep your balance. And then maybe bring your arms up. And if you want to challenge yourself again, close your eyes. Now with that change, is it easier without something on top of your head? Or maybe it helps to keep your balance. But can you get that same sense of balance? Even though you're a totally different person now than you were a couple minutes ago. This is going to still feel different. Just notice those differences. Notice how you find balance this time. You might be having to hold on to the chair this time. Maybe not. Maybe your toes are touching the ground. Okay, bring your hands back towards your heart. Open your eyes if your eyes are closed. And then bring that left foot down onto the ground. Bring your arms down. Come back into Tadasana and notice. Notice all the differences. Okay, and then let's go over onto the other side. So if you need to move your chair over onto the other side, and we'll root down through that left foot. Bring your hands towards your heart or hold on to the chair. And then bring that right foot up. Does it feel different on this side? Without whatever was on your head. Do you feel balanced here? Notice your breath. Trying to still envision that there is something on top of your head, and that might help your balance. It might not. And then if you're ready, you can branch the arms out. Make sure you're breathing. So what do you notice on this side? Is it easier without that thing on your head, or maybe not as easy? Or maybe you're not totally sure because it's been a few minutes now. You want to challenge yourself, close your eyes. Even bringing the hand down, holding onto the chair, and close your eyes and just notice maybe you can find some balance there. Using the chair is not a bad thing. Keep noticing. And then when you're ready to come down, you can bring your hands back towards your heart. Slide the leg down, come back and stand in Tadasana, and then just be aware. Maybe even noticing if your awareness was more in the physical body or more in the energetic body. The energetic body is the mind and the intellect and the ego and the subconscious and all the senses. Maybe you were able to be a little bit more observant there. Or maybe you were totally in another realm and you were in your spiritual body. Sometimes we catch little glimpses of it. A little bit trickier to find that, to find our spiritual body, trying to get in there. Okay, so let's sit down again into our chairs. Okay, and we're just going to do a few more cows and cats here. I feel that I need it in my body, so maybe you do too. So we're just going to start to just little cows and little cats. Little cows and little cats. We'll do that a couple times, and then maybe just moving the torso around in some circles, and we'll do a little twist. A couple more times in the cow and the cat, just to release any tension that we might be feeling in the back. That's fine. And then bring yourself up, and then we'll start to move around in circles. Going nice and slow. Even be observant here in the balance that is happening. And as we move around in circles, there's still going to be a little bit of a different sense of balance, a little bit of a different sense of perspective. Okay, and then go in the opposite direction. Okay, and then come back to center. And we're gonna cross, let's do the right leg over top of the left leg. And we're gonna do a little twist here, okay? And it doesn't have to be up this high. You can do ankle, cross of the ankle if that works better in your body. So sitting up nice and tall. Left hand is gonna come to the outside of that right leg. And we're just gonna take the right arm and just reach it back. So you might hold on to the back of the chair or maybe the side of the chair. So we're coming into our twist and we're going to inhale, lift, and then exhale, maybe twist a little bit more. And it might be really, really a subtle twist. It might not be that much of a twist. Okay, so inhale to lift, exhale to maybe twist a little bit more, or maybe just to go a little bit deeper, or just stay a little bit deeper into the position we're in without really moving. Just try to soften here. Okay, on your next inhalation, bring yourself back. And just stay here for a moment. And then unwind your legs, uncross your legs. Bring both feet down, stay here for a moment, and then we'll do the other side. So take that left leg, cross it over, either up on the thigh or at your ankle. Staying up nice and tall. Take your right hand on the outside of your left thigh and the left hand to the back of your chair or to the chair seat. Up to you. So we're going to inhale to lengthen and then exhale to twist. So just being aware as you breathe in to lengthen, exhale to twist, what the rest of your body's doing. If there's any tension happening in the shoulders or the face, and what that supporting foot is doing. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Again, not forcing anything. Okay, one more breath here. And then on your next inhalation, bring yourself back. Good. And just unwind your legs, wiggle around a little bit, and then we're going to bring ourselves into just a couple minutes of a Savasana. So if you want to be on the ground, go for it. If you don't, then just lean back in your chair. We're going to be here for a couple of moments, couple minutes. Just totally relax yourself. You can use a blanket, cover yourself with a blanket. So on the ground or in the chair, just rest your arms, maybe on your thighs or down by your sides. And just take a few moments just to relax. Let go of any control that you had on your breath. And just allow yourself to be soft. Keep your mind focused on yourself. Try not to allow the mind to go on a little wander. Just allow it to watch your breath. And as you transform again into a relaxed state. And very peacefully allow your breath to deepen. Bring some movement back into the body, feeling the changes that are happening. Definitely in your physical body, maybe in your energetic body. And then if you're on the ground, roll over to one side, and then eventually pushing yourself up into a seat. So either on the ground or on your chair, and just sitting up nice and tall again. Okay, and just do another little check-in. Okay, get in touch with your breath again. Notice your breath, it's probably changed again. So notice that. And then we're gonna start to do some alternate nostril breathing. So the left hand, thumb and pointer finger, palm face up. And then the right hand, thumb connects with the right nostril, elbows in towards the chest. And you're just gonna start to breathe in and out through the left nostril, just a couple times, just to get a nice flow going. If you notice that the breath is getting stuck, we'll do breathe through your mouth or through the other nostril if this isn't working for you. So a couple times through the left nostril. And then you're going to cover up that left nostril and breathe in and out through the right nostril. Just notice the difference between those nostrils. One might be easier to breathe through than the other. Okay, and then we're going to start to alternate. So cover up that right nostril, breathe in through the left. Cover up the left, breathe out through the right. In through the right. And out through the left. And again, if this isn't working for you, just don't do this. Just breathe in and out through both nostrils. Again, in through the left. Cover left, exhale right. Inhale through the right. Out through the left. As you breathe in, count to 4. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right for a count of 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale left. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just breathe normally. Bring your hand down and just notice that. Notice that before we continue. Okay. Thumb and pointer finger together on the left hand and cover up your right nostril again. Inhale for a count of 4 through the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cover up the left. Exhale 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hand down. Close your eyes for a moment and just notice. Notice the change. Notice the breath. Notice maybe how you transformed, how your breath might have transformed. Noticing if there was any struggle there with the breath. Let's notice whatever decides to come up, any emotions or feelings. Anything at all. And then take a few moments to reflect on your practice today. What changes did you notice in your body? Or transformations? Were you able to recognize your physical body? Were you able to recognize your energetic body? Were you able to tap into that spiritual body at all? Were you able to find balance through any one of those, or maybe the combination of them? What did you notice? How did stress play a role in this? Were you able to find the stress to keep you balanced and then let it go when you didn't need it any longer? What did you notice? And how, from what you learned today, how you can bring that into your daily life. Even just a little tiny bit of something. Maybe just one thing, maybe a bunch of things. 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever that you can bring into your daily life that will make your life just a little bit better. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, and then let's give ourselves some gratitude. Bring your hands towards your heart, bow your heads, bow down and give yourself gratitude. Gratitude for trying out different things, thinking different things, being very observant. And gratitude for anything else that you wish to be grateful for at this moment. And let's finish our practice with one Om together. Take a breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Breathe in for one Om. Namaste.